Greetings, fellow Demon Slayers. This is Taimanin Mari here today with another Action Taimanin video, and oh boy, this update is Big Chungus Updato. So, oh my god, where do we start? Let's come over here to the Bundaroos. Alright, yeah, okay. Let's talk about the repeat of these guys first. So we have Shadow Unchained repeat, and we have our White Almighty repeat. So, for right now, there is no gacha for them, unfortunately. It looks like you can just get the skin and the ultra rare weapon. Basically the basic bundle that each of them came with. You can buy these one time each, so basically if you missed a skin, you can grab a skin and you can work on updating your weapon. Outside of that, yeah, that's really all you can do in regards to them. But that's fine because this update has a whole lot to go over. Now, before getting into it, I'm going to say there are a lot of game systems added. I'm not doing any tutorials today because there's just too much to do like in this video. So I'm going to just tell you guys what's here, give general advice about it, and move on, and tutorials will come later. So now that we're done with these limited packages, which kudos to them for letting us at least get the skins, we're going to leave this screen because I think that's everything for that. We're going to come on over to the Gacha screen. So this is a very busy screen. The first thing we're going to look at is Ingrid. Blah blah blah, Ingrid's limited, we all know that. She'll be 250 for your first 10 pull, then 500 here on out. But there are a lot of ways to get her. We'll also talk about that. But for now, let's talk about her ability. So, we have Ingrid. They could have called her Hell Knight Ingrid or something, but we have Ingrid. Blooming Dark Flame. Increase particle charge from attacks by 110%, so you get your special way faster. Increase damage dealt with weapon skills by 20%, so your weapon skills do way more. Now, it says decrease ultimate damage by 50%. So right here, this supporter is meant for someone who's abusing their weapon ability. You will not want to be ulting with her. Which is fine, because she definitely gives you the particle charge and the weapon skill damage to do so. At S level 5, if this sticks to the trend of doubling, the particle charge will become 220%, and the weapon skill DPS would go up by 40%. So she's definitely geared for spamming your weapon actives. So I don't know what Ingrid's weapons are going to be. I can think of some weapons that this would work very well with. For example, the Kieran active is a really, really strong one. This would go well with Kieran, for example, because some people prefer using the Kieran active over Renko's ult. This supporter would be able to let you abuse that playstyle. The only issue is Renko likes blue and Ingrid is red. But that's just an example of how this could be a good passive for a weapon type like Kieran. Speaking of red, she does pair with Shirayuki and Homura, so people who wanted to use basically beat your face in red build with Ingrid can obviously do so. Next, we're going to look at her actual ability. This seems to be changed from what they showed in the video yesterday. It does still say normal attacks have a 10% chance of inflicting hellfire to the target for 10 seconds, but it also says applies once every 15 seconds. So that hellfire is now on a 15-second cooldown. So basically, if you hit something with hellfire, you won't be able to do it again for 15 seconds, so keep that in mind. It does make it a little less aggressive in PvE, but in PvP, it can still do its job, because it's just going to be a one-on-one fight, so if you inflict the hellfire on their first time and then you'll be able to do it to their second with no issues, because this whole loading screen will go through, and I don't think that 15-second stipulation will travel between loading screens. On top of that, the active is good as well because it deals 400% damage to all enemies and 80% burn damage for 20 seconds. So this supporter overall is going to enjoy double stacking debuffs on you. It won't be as aggressive as it initially seemed because of the 15-second cooldown on the Hellfire, but still very good. Overall, I think this is a fantastic supporter. I hate to say it because I'm not on Ingrid's team, but she's really, really good. I don't have anything against her. The only drawback, really, is the ultimate damage reduction. But if you can find a good weapon ability to abuse, then you're going to be A-okay with her because you're going to be able to borderline spam it. So, moving on from Ingrid. Finally, Furfur is here. I've been waiting for her. She's so beautiful. I almost want to do a 10 pull just to see if I get my hands on one. So, we're going to go over her abilities. We have Amahara Intel. Increased damage dealt to demon-type enemies by 12%. Reduced damage taken from machine-type enemies by 10%. So, real cut and dry. You hit demons harder, and machines hit you less harder. Next, we're going to look at her active, called Demonic Bugs. Plants a bug in her enemies and deals 350% damage. And makes her enemies bleed that deals 72% damage for 7.5 seconds. So it just says enemies. I'm wondering if that means everything on the screen. I'm not sure because it doesn't specify all. It just says enemies. So I wish the wording was a little bit better because I find that the wording can get pretty literal with these things. But we'll just have to see. She is blue, so she would go great in blue builds. Another benefit to her being blue is she's a DPS-y blue supporter with her active, which those kind of aren't super common to come by, so that's nice to see. Plus, she's just so darn adorable. I love her. She's so cute, and she's my friend. So anyway, moving on from Furfur, I think she's fine. Obviously, she's not as good as Ingrid, but Ingrid's limited. I do think she's a good candidate to be added to the list of blue girls you can pick from. Next, we're going to look at the bad. Here's Emily. I don't think the Emily supporter's that good. I'm just going to come right out and say it. I'll read her off for you guys. She is red. Her passive is called Combat Engineer. She reduces damage taken from machine-type enemies by 7% and increases damage dealt to machine-type enemies by 12%. So, basically, she makes you counter out machines. She's good to use against Emily for sure in the arena, since Emily's a really annoying machine type. And if I remember correctly, Asuka is also a machine, so Emily would do great against her as well. Finally, we have her ability, which is called Homing Drone. Summons a drone that performs a consecutive attack of 45% damage to a single enemy for 12 seconds. So I just think she's doubling up on her little gun buddy here. So that basically means her Otomedius option can double up and you'll have two options for 12 seconds. I don't think it's that good because of the 65-second cooldown. I would have to see her in practice, and since we all get one for free, I'll be able to test her and kind of say what I think of her. But for now, it doesn't seem that great. If the duration was longer for the actual drone, or if the cooldown was shorter, I could see it being better. But I just have to see how much damage it actually puts out when you double up on this drone. Moving on from Emily, we have a repeat of the Fuyumi Gacha. So let me come into the actual Gacha details. Because, yeah, we have Ibuki. So, she's going to be here with Fuyumi, just like the original Gacha that ran. So if you guys don't remember what Ibuki does, she increases critical damage of ranged attacks by 16%, and her active deals 375% damage and knocks down one enemy. So, really good for ranged types, good for stacking that crit damage. Decent overall. She was also the last super rare they ever put out, and then super rares kind of started slowly going extinct, seeing as they don't really make new ones anymore. I do wonder if they're ever going to rectify that. But if you want to get your hands on her at an up rate, she is here. Next, we're going to look at Fuyumi. Fuyumi is really good for melee types. I love her on Renko and Sakura especially. Because, again, she's a DPS-y protect supporter, which are kind of hard to come by. So we're going to read off her ability, Melee Specialist. Reduce damage taken from melee attacks by 12%. Increases damage dealt with melee attacks by 7%. Very solid, very neat passive. Then her ability, Surprise Dust, says deals 575% damage and knocks up all enemies within close range. The explosion has a short delay. So overall, she's not bad. I have her. I do use her when I'm running Renko or Sakura, and she's enjoyable overall. And there's no reason to not want to go for her since she's already kind of considered a staple. It's just the issue is that she's kind of repeating with all of this. We got Furfur, we got this Emily, we got Ingrid-chan chilling here. So at this point, it's just pretty much pick your gacha. Like there's three out of the four gachas are worth pulling on, and it really just depends on what you're going for. Like if you are hungry for Fuyumi, like most people know she's good at this point, so grab her if you want her. I think the biggest priority here should be Ingrid because she is limited. Is Emily? Okay, Emily isn't labeled as doesn't seem limited because she only costs 200, so maybe she'll end up in the pool. I don't know, but for sure I know Ingrid is limited. This is what you should definitely be going for. Things like Fur I know will end up in the pool. From the looks of it, because of Emily's pricing, she may end up in the permanent pool. And Fuyumi's already in the pool, so unless you're really thirsty for her in an uprate, I don't suggest pulling her gacha. I think your main focus should be at least getting one copy of Ingrid, and I will explain why as we get through the video. Next, we're going to look at the premium gacha. There was a waifu added to the pool. After Anemone, we have Cell Phone Mom Takane Koharu. She is now in the pool. So for anyone who is looking to get their hands on her and her sweet tan lines, she's chilling here now for you to do so. Okay, that's been a mouthful. Like I said, this is a huge update, guys. The video is going to be lengthy. So, well, if I didn't say that, I'm saying it now. Next, we're going to look at the Shop of Desires. Okay. So, as you would expect, everything that we can pull for is here. They're each 100 desires, so you'd have to do 100 pulls to max out your gauge to take your pick of what you want. You can get yourself a Fuyumi for 1,000 gems. You can get yourself an Emily for 1,000 gems. You can get yourself a Fur for 1,000 gems. And you can get up to one Ingrid copy for 1,000 gems. And 100 desire, respectively, for all of them. Because remember, once you use that desire, it does reset back to 0. Finally, if you're crazy and you're a mad lad like me, and you want to do what I did for Kirara, you can get an Ingrid copy for 12,000 mileage and 100 gems. But I don't... Oh, wow, and 100 desire. I said gems. 12,000 mileage and 100 desire. But I don't suggest doing that because there are other avenues to get your hands on Ingrid. Okay, the gacha screen is done. Next we have the Waifu War. And I haven't picked a side yet, so I'm going to grab Kirara now. Would you like to join Team Kirara? Yes, of course. There was never a doubt in my mind. Oh my god, she's winning. How is that a thing? Oof. Oh, wow. Okay. What are these? Alright, I have no clue what's going on here because I didn't look at this yet. I wanted to save picking it for the video, but there seems to be a lot. So, wow. What do we receive these? What do these do? No, okay, well I'm just going to receive all and leave the screen. I'm going to explain this further in another video because there's just too much to go over here. But wow, I'm surprised Kirara is ahead by this much. I feel like the Ingrid fans are trolling us, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be like Ingrid at 90% and Kirara at 10%. But either way, how this event is going to work is the winning side is going to be awarded to everybody who participated. So if Kirara were to win, everyone who took part in this event is going to get a Kirara as their free character. If Ingrid wins, everyone who participated in this event will get their hands on an Ingrid. So I'm going to mess with this and figure it all out later. But I do see here already that they do have UR upgrade mats. So I'm definitely going to work on getting that. Oh my god. With that... Oh boy. We can get Ingrid to S level 5 free. I'm going to tell you guys how. I'm going to go into that next. Because Ingrid, I was just talking to Tack in a DM before starting the video. Ingrid can be gotten to S level 3 100% free. So how you're going to do that? We're going to come over to the Cannon Warrior event. It's your typical run-of-the-mill event. We're going to have Waifu in one box and Gacha Coin in the other. Moving on to box 10. There is a free Ingrid supporter here. So that's your first free Ingrid. Next, you're going to back out. We're going to come to the presents, because I haven't claimed them yet, to show that they are giving an Ingrid out for free for the server merge celebration. So I'll actually receive all now just to get my hands on the first Ingrid. Woo, I have Ingrid. Yay, free of charge. I'm Ingrid, the Hell Knight. My might is yours to command. No, your might is Black's to command. You're just pretending to be our friend. So that's 2 Ingrids. Now, the third Ingrid is going to come from the Arena Tower. If we go all the way to the top... Come on. Get up there. Bear with me. There we go. These items here, this is a UR weapon upgrade material, and this is a UR supporter upgrade material. So with this supporter upgrade, that would be an S level 3 Ingrid. Finally, we're going to come back to the Kirara and Ingrid event. This here is another UR support upgrade material. That would be an S level 4 Ingrid. And if you guys remember, we have this sweet login going right now. That would be S level 5 Ingrid. So you can potentially finish Ingrid without ever pulling her gacha. Grimmery, you made Action Taimanin great again. So for all those Ingrid fans out there, you have a grind ahead of you, but you can definitely finish this supporter, which is just nuts. Oh my god, that's nuts. That's crazy. Like, I'm gonna try to finish her. I'm gonna try to get her to S level 5 for free. Just because, like, it's an option. There's no reason to not do it. Either way, we're going to look at her login while we're here. So we have the AP potions we already got today. Next, we're going to get 50k coins tomorrow. The day after that, we'll get 10 BP potions. Some of these sweet upgrade materials. 5 friendship baggies. 10 gacha coins. And of course, the Ingrid supporter. This is running till the 25th, so don't feel like you have to log in every day this week unless you want the Ingrid as soon as possible. You just have to make your presence known for 7 days throughout this period. So overall, not that bad. Whew, okay. Now that we talked about how to finish Ingrid without ever spending a dime, let's come back to the event screen. I'm sorry guys, I'm usually more organized than this. I'm like feather-brained right now. I'm actually hype. And my hands are shaking like some sort of crazy drug addict because AT has never been this awesome. Like, this is like, it's so good. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the event list. We have 3 events running. We have Mari repeating. So let's go to Mari first since we've already know about her. Let me check her to make sure nothing magical is happening in box 10. Okay, no. So this is a normal event. You can stop at box 9. Let's look at Mari in case you guys don't remember her. She reduces damage taken from all enemies by 18% when debuffed or stunned. She deals 284% damage and knocks up to 3 random enemies, and you gain super armor for 8 seconds after she does that. Upon maxing her and getting her to S level 5, these ratios highlighted in green will just simply double. Now, Mari wasn't the greatest supporter, but it's still cool to see her being repeated because it shows on the global side we will get repeat events. I just hope that Onigumo comes sooner than later because a lot of people weren't aware of the game's existence when Onigumo ran. And for that reasoning, a lot of players in the community just simply don't have an Onigumo. So I hope that they're able to get one in the near future. What do I think about Mari repeating? I don't know why they did it. She's not a staple. But I do have my suspicions. I think they're trying to get Mari into people's inventory because she's going to be playable. She has a 3D model already. She hasn't been like a super well-loved support, at least in this game. Like, not many people are running her. So the only logical explanation I can give myself is maybe they're trying to get people to have her so that when she becomes playable, they can use Mari on Mari. Which I'm fine with because my long-lost cousin is adorable, so if Mari were ever to be playable, I would love that. And that's what my suspicion is. I could be totally wrong on this, but who knows? Like, we have Obro. Who's to say we don't get a Mari supporter in the future? Who's to say they don't repeat Micah and we get a Micah supporter or Micah character in the future? So, yeah, like, that's my suspicion. That's what I'm going with. So leaving this screen, I do hope they make you playable, Mari. You're so cute. We're going to come back here. We're going to go to Summer Pool Cleanup. Now, the only weird thing about this is in the Japanese server, when this ran, I believe they did have the swimsuit skins, which currently are not up for us, but don't count them out. They could definitely show up at any point. But for now, we just have this event and all the gachas we have currently running. So we're going to look at little demon mom, Issei Nodoka. What does she do? She Sister Longlegs. So she's like Daddy Longlegs' little sister. That's so adorable. Anyway, she increases gold gain by 8% when completing quests, so if you're farming, you throw her on. Next we have Mirror Arts Suigetsu. Deals 274% damage to up to 3 random enemies and disarms them for 5 seconds. Now, this is a good active. It's kind of like Ghetto Invincibility. Because if you do use it in, let's say, the arena, it's going to disarm whoever you're fighting for 5 seconds simply because there's only one target. It has to hit the Taimanin. It's not as good as running true invincibility, of course, and the wording disarms means they lose their weapon, but I don't think that means they can't hit you. They'll probably just deal incredibly reduced damage. But that 5-second buffer can win games depending on the scenario. So I don't think she's overall bad, but I don't think she's great either. She's just okay. She's a green supporter, which, I always like seeing more of those because there aren't many super good ones. And she's a decent one. I do wish her passive was a little bit more DPS or defense centric or something, but the gold is not bad because she'll always find a place if you're really hungry for money, you can farm with her. Now, going to her box 10 because we do get something, we have Emily chilling here, so let's crawl on over to her. God, those legs. So we all looked at Emily already. If you're looking to get a free Emily supporter, this is how you do it, which means if you only wanted one of her, don't bother pulling the gacha, because you can easily earn one by simply going to box 10 in this event. Next, we're going to look at the last event. Go back. I hate how it completely kicks me out. I want to come back here. Next, we have the Canon Warrior and the Fortune Teller. So we already looked at this box. We know that on box 10, there is a free Ingrid in it for everyone, which I'm surprised they're really making it really easy to get Ingrid here. Well, I guess the tower isn't going to be easy, and I guess getting that personal reward and the waifu on waifu event isn't going to be easy, but it's possible, and that's what has me like, oh my god, free S level 5 Ingrid. Now I'm hyped for Ingrid. I didn't want to be hyped for Ingrid, but I want to get her to 5 and abuse this ability. Oh, okay. Next we're going to look at Nino Weaver. God, her name is really pretty. Anyway, you're Yugi Moto. So this is Yugi from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime years ago. He got a sex change when Taya broke up with him, and now he's a very beautiful lady with ridiculous hair. So with that being said, what does Yugi do? Well, Yugi has UFS artillery. She increases damage dealt with ranged attacks by 15%. At S level 5, that would be 30%. This is one of the favorites that me, Tak, and Ark, or I guess Tak, Ark, and myself talk about because of the 30% range damage. She will go good on anything that likes to shoot. There's nothing bad about her. It's 30% damage with no negative. She also pairs well with Homura because, again, if you throw her on a ranged Taimanin with a Homura, that's 60% damage with no negative. If that ranged Taimanin happens to be a demon, you can feed it Shirayuki, Nino, and Homura for an insane 96% damage, with only a 10% damage increase taken because of the Homura. So, overall, I like her. She's a good supporter. She really puts the jets on if you're looking to pump DPS, and I will be happy to get her to S level 5. As far as her active, it's on a short 46-second cooldown, so no issues there. She fires a particle blaster that deals 600% damage and stuns all enemies in the line. So, if you can get a nice clump in front of you and fire this blaster, she gives off nice CC, and she can deal up to 1200% when you get her to Awakening too. Overall, a decent supporter, and I'm happy to say Yugi's finally in the game. Is that a dual disc on your waist, Yugi? The only thing I have a question about is the stun. I wish I could see how long the duration is, but I'm imagining it'll be like maybe 3 to 5 seconds, not something too long, not something too, just something like that. But CC is never bad. Okay, so that covers the events. You guys know about the free Emily. You guys know about the potential S level 5 Ingrid you can get, which is insane. We don't have any new story, so which is weird because the arrows here, I think almost like the story is ready to be put in because that arrow pops up when we get a new chapter, but as you can see if I push down, it's still there. So I think 14 is going to be loaded at some point in the coming weeks, which I've said in previous videos recently. We're overdue for our next story chapter. Okay, character screen. This is the next thing we have to look at. So we'll go to Yuki, since that's who I've been playing lately. First, we're going to come to the skills. We now have the Japanese servers scaling. So every character has pretty much just gotten a soft buff, which is really, really good. So I'm going to look at them. Previously, I believe these values were... They were less. I'm just going to say every value was less. I can't remember what they all were. But HP upgrade at max level is now 25%. Defense upgrade at max level is now 20%. Upgrade skill is now in a crazy 37.5%, which is a huge damage increase from what it was. Ultimate damage, again, I think this was like 30% or something. Now it's 75%. This is insane. So, yeah, your characters are just all buffed now because of all of this. The cooldown reduction, again, is now a whopping 30%. So all of your skill cooldowns, your character abilities, literally, if you have their upgrade cooldown maxed, it's now cut to a third of what the original cooldown was. That's absurd. Finally, or not finally, but next to last, we have our upgrade attack. I think this was like 10 or 12% before. It was really low. Well, now it's 25%. So your basics just overall hit harder, which is great. And finally, we have the critical rate, which I think this was only 5%. It was really low, but now it's 12.5%. So that's just, it makes getting that 100% crit all the easier. So overall, yes, this is a character-wide buff. Every character now has upgraded skill ratios, which makes upgrading your skill training even more important. And if you haven't done it for every character you own, I suggest doing that because it is very, very useful. So far, these waifus are done, and I will, of course, any waifus I get in the future will be done as well because I will upgrade their skills. Next, I want to look at this button here. So, when a character is 75 and maxed out, you now have what's called I don't know what it's called, but you can awaken them again, essentially. It turns to star this nice pink color. It kind of looks like it's glowing too, like it wants to be hollow foil. And it says awaken point +2. Unfortunately, I don't know what that value means because I haven't awoken anyone yet. But it will cost for this first level 550k. And you will have to use 5 friendship emblems. You will have to use 6 of the... Which one is this? The lunar ores. And you will need, I believe it was 2? Yes, 2 of what this currency is. So every character is going to have a specific crystal color. These crystals come from the arena tower, which we're going to look at next. So in case anyone doesn't know, like, if you're unsure of where to get something, you just go to acquire info and it'll tell you where. The arena tower. So these drop as you clear floors there. As far as friendship emblems, suddenly those skins are not very important. I actually wish I did not use my Yuki emblems to get her friendship skin. Because seeing this, these are now used to upgrade your character. So it's going to definitely be a slow grind, simply because you're at the mercy of RNG of whose emblem you get your hands on. If there's anyone whose emblem you want, I suggest trying to pull for that character's points, like especially Kirara and Ingrid fans. You're going to probably want to save your friendship points for when they come out, but there's an issue with that, which I'll get into after this. Point being, don't use your friendship emblems for skins for the time being. Start working the character up, because like Yuki is obviously in a poor position, but I know I have a bunch of Nui emblems, so if we come to... Wow, we were already there, I'm an idiot. If we come here, you see here I'm sitting on 10 Nui emblems, so I can actually get some awakenings onto her. As far as like lunar ores and stuff, I have more than enough mats to craft those. Those are not going to be an issue. And then I would just need to run Arena Tower to get her blue crystals. So, yeah, these are infinitely more valuable now, and I'm sorry to anyone who made a friendship skin, because as you guys can see, if I come to my skins, I actually did do that for Yuki. Hers is hanging out here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. The Sue skin. So this could have been like an awakening level, since I do play Yuki Kaze really actively. She's one of my favorite characters. Also, while we're here in the skin screen, skin stats, from what I hear, have also been increased by about 50%. Looking at them, yeah, I do see that. This has more attack than it did. This has more crit than it did. These were both sitting at about 1,000 crit. It was like 1,000 attack and like 700 crit. And I can see now they each went up. So skins are now infinitely more valuable as well. What did the... That stayed the same. Okay, some of these like free skins look like they stayed the same. But if I'm looking at these other skins, I do think yeah, that has 350 crit. That's definitely more than before. So keep an eye out on what's going on your skins because some of the stats on some of these skins are higher, making them more valuable. So yeah, overall this is a great update. Like I don't have words for how many things they added to make the game better. But let's get out of the character screen because this video is becoming insanely long, which is expected. The last thing we're going to look at, I believe, is the arena tower. So, Battle Arena is the same, Arena Prologue is the same, Arena Tower is the new kid on the block. So, as I told you guys before, for finishing this tower, you will get your hands on floor 49, you get a weapon upgrade for ultra rare weapons. Any weapon you choose, you can upgrade it. And then you get a super rare supporter, or wow, an ultra rare supporter upgrade for clearing floor 50. So, wanting to do this is imperative. Now, outside of that, I'll just scroll up. You see here we have a green upgrade crystal. That's for your awakening. And as you go up, you'll see the upgrade crystals kind of scattered around. You have blue here. There's also means of getting gacha coins in here. And here's a red crystal. So the rewards from here are worth it. It is worth it to want to do the entire thing. So I don't know how hard it is yet. I haven't tried it. I wanted to get you guys the video. So I can't say, but I can say Tax says it's insanely fun, which is already a good thing. This also will fill the void of an in-game place to play, where we can use our in-game characters. Because how AT was before is it was pretty much like you had an event box or you had like dailies and story. If your character was geared for in-game, all that content was a bit trivial. I hope the content here is difficult enough that it's not a trivial matter. I hope your characters have to kind of be well built. Not to say that they need to be pay to win built, but like you need to have like a level 75 character with their skills, maybe like an S level 3 ultra rare, even if it's a PvP weapon. You know, you have to have some gear under your belt to easily get through this. I think that's going to be really cool just to have something that scales to our already OP Taimanin. The next thing I want to look at is the first item, since I can actually view it. Okay, this is an emblem kit. So instead of wasting your time pulling friendship boxes using the friendship points you get, you're going to want to get your hands on these emblem kits from here, and this will allow you to pretty much get like one of the emblems. I don't know if it's random because it says when used you can select one item to acquire from the item index. Since it says you can select, I assume you can just pick. Now, my advice, if you're someone who's going to be simping for Kirara or Ingrid, I assume these emblem kits will upgrade when those characters are added. So, you're going to be giving up your awakening for the time being, but what I would do is I would hold my emblem kits, that's what I plan to do, until Kirara's in the game in my case, and then if I can choose her emblems, I'm just going to pick only Kirara emblems. Because I want to awaken Kirara first, because that's going to be my main. I've already decided this. So, leaving these screens, because I want to show you guys how to get the item you need. Which, let me just throw someone here. We'll put you here. So to run this, why is it letting me run it? Well, I'll run it. It says you need like a currency, which I want to show you guys what that is, but I don't have one and it's letting me do the mission. Either way, we're going to like roast these guys real quick. Oh, they're tanky. You're getting a little arena tower gameplay. This Yuki's kind of spoiled, so she should have no issues, at least on this first floor. I hope. I could be made a fool of. Oh, I like this. Look at how tanky these guys are. This is neat. Okay. That hit really, really hard. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was it? Okay. That was a bit short, but... Oh, he had like 1,000 life bars. Whoa, what was going on with that dude? That was a tanky boy. Okay, Yuki. Ooh, nice Ryu. I don't know why I'm talking to Yuki. I'm a weirdo, but let's ice him. Okay, so that was an example of what the arena tower would be like. Those guys were tanky. That was actually interesting because I'm used to Yuki kind of exploding stuff. But okay, so yeah, touch to next. Blah, blah, blah. So clearing that floor would obviously subsequently unlock the second floor. But I want to talk about this currency. I don't know what... I know what these are for. Okay, I get it now. Because what I tried to do before was I tried to be like weird and use arc. So can I just remove you or can I just... Alright, so we're going to come here. We're going to go friend character. What I was doing before was I tried to use Arcs Morisaki because I wanted to play her. So when you want to use a friend's character, there's going to be this green token at the top of the screen. And you see here I need one of these tokens to use Arcs Morisaki. So that was the issue before. I thought that it just costed this currency in general to run these because I see it here and then... No, it's just because I wanted to use a friend. So now I kind of figured that out. So there's a small tutorial for the Arena Tower. If you want to bring your friend's character, you have to have a ticket. How do you get a ticket? Well, you're going to leave this screen. You're going to come to the store. And you're going to come down to the friend point exchange. And here you can buy them for 250 for one, 1120 for 5, and then 2000 for 10. So the more you buy at once, the cheaper they are per. But I would stick to buying friend boxes because we want to get our hands on emblems for the characters. So this is just another avenue to do so. I try to refrain from using friends unless you're really like, we'll say a new player or someone who hasn't been lucky or Gacha hasn't treated them well. That way you have an OP friend who can come and help you. Though I may pick one up for Steins because I want to use your Morisaki arc. I want to touch her. And when you see this video, you'll know that I'm creeping on your waifus behind your back and probably block me. But I hope we can stay friends because I really want to play FF14 with you. Either way, this video has dragged on long enough. There's a lot here, guys. I'm sorry it was so long, but the update is humongous. Like I said, for today, I just wanted to get you the general info of what is here. I talked about it all. I don't have words, man. I'm actually hype. Like, I mean, they just gave me 500 crystals. They gave me a free Ingrid. While I'm talking, I'm gonna upgrade her. Where is she hiding? There you are. Let's lock you and let's feed you. You're here so you get food. Hey, everyone, see, I can be nice to Ingrid too. I said nice things about Ingrid Shin. I said she's good. She's insanely good. I'll admit it. But I'm still Kirara's fan. But I'll be nice to the Ingrid, and I'll probably actually buy the character to use with the supporter. So you heard it here. I may get Ingrid, but I'm not going to like it. Okay, so I think that's going to end the video. I'll continue feeding her on my own time. But yeah, guys, there's a lot here. I think the biggest priority for these few weeks... Click confirm. Get out of here. I'll give you a closing comment, and that'll be the video. Your biggest priority... Because I don't know what the timer is on this tower. I don't know if this will reset every month or every week. I don't know. I have no clue what they plan to do with this. There are no dates here. But your priority is to take your characters to the very tippy top. Get your hands on this supporter upgrade. Get that. Your next priority is to come to the event screen. Come to Yugi's little event box. Yami Yugi with her ridiculous hair. And you're going to get to box 10, and you're going to get this Ingrid. You know what I'm doing here. You're going to log in for 7 days. You're going to get that third Ingrid. You're going to claim your present for that fourth Ingrid. And finally, you're going to come into this event, and you are going to work your damnedest to get your personal reward. To get these 7k points, however the hell that you get them. And you're going to get yourself an S level 5 Ingrid. And you are not, under any circumstances, going to come to this gacha and pay for her. You are going to farm your Ingrid. We are all going to farm Ingrid. That is the goal for the next 3 weeks. Get your hands on Ingrid because this is a free S level 5 limited supporter potentially. The only thing I'm not sure about is this actual competition. I don't know how you're going to get like these 7k points or how hard they're going to be to earn. I think it's just via these medals. Let me just like claim one. Yeah, it's via these medals. So they started me out with 100. 6,900 more to go. I don't know. All I know is we're gonna have to work towards this because this reward is a big deal. This is like we need this. Even if it's not for Ingrid, people are gonna want to get the upgrade mats for supporters and the upgrade mats for an ultra rare weapon. So that's how we're gonna end the video. Good luck to everyone on either side. I don't really care who wins at this point because knowing that I can potentially get a super powerful Ingrid, unfortunately, that means I'm going to get both characters. And with that, oh my god, guys, that's going to be the video. If you sat through it this long, thanks, I appreciate it. And there will be tutorials to come. I'm going to get Tack and Arc in on those so we get multiple perspectives. But overall, I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm happy. I have nothing bad to say for once. Can you believe that? They pleased the troll Mari. So this troll is going to spend the day playing his Gremlin because she's my current main. And I hope you guys have fun playing whoever your current main is and get to farming. Have good luck in your gachas in the arena. Do your arena towers. Finish box 10 for Yugi and Darts. I guess that's who the mask waifu can be. And yeah, guys, just get that S level 5 Ingrid and wow. Okay. You guys take care. Have a great day, guys. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.